Jesus is the only way to salvation. Man is fallen, and there's nothing man can do to help himself or to redeem himself. The subject of man has been studied in the studios of God, and the conclusion is the flesh profits nothing. So no matter how much penance, no matter how much labor you put in, you can't save yourself. It has been vetted. Jesus is the only way to salvation. In John 14 verse 6, himself was speaking, and he said, I am the way. He didn't say, I am a way. If he said, I am a way, it would have suggested that there are other ways to glory or to the Father. He said, I am the way. I am the truth. I am the life. Definite article. Now, you need to understand that in the dispensations of God's dealing with man, before he brought man to the place of encountering the person of Jesus, there were other channels that he instituted to create a temporary preservative structure. But those channels were not his ultimate means to salvation. For instance, before Jesus came, good conscience was a means by which God secured humanity, waiting for Christ to bring them to glory. Although if you functioned by good conscience, you were not saved, but you were preserved from destruction, because Jesus is the only way. If you study Romans chapter 2 from verse 11 to 16, if we have the Passion Translation, it paints it very clearly. You will see that there was a dispensation where God dealt with humanity based on good conscience. It said, for God sees us all without partiality. So the standards of God never bends. But man had not come to a level where man was ready to receive Christ, because the Bible said Jesus came in the fullness of time. So until that time came, God was dealing with man based on good conscience. And so he said, God dealt with us without partiality. Next verse. He said, when God, who have never been, he said, when people who have never been exposed to the law of Moses commit sin, he said, they will still perish for what they do. He said, and those who are under the law of Moses and fail to obey it are condemned by the law. I'll come to the law, because conscience came before the law. Next verse. He said, for it is not merely knowing the law that makes you right with God. He said, but doing all that the law says that will cause God to pronounce you innocent. Next verse.